The U.S. and Iran reached an initial peace deal to be signed on Friday, but questions remain over the Strait of Hormuz. The city is set to toughen rules for importing foreign labor targeting the catering sector. And the government says Hong Kong's 5-year plan does not replace free market economy. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. The United States and Iran have reached an initial deal to end their war, open the Strait of Hormuz, and remove the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports. The two countries said they would start implementing the agreement after an official signing set for Friday in Switzerland. Jamie Liu has more on a tentative framework.
After more than 3 months into a conflict that has disrupted global energy supply and rocked the economy, a diplomatic breakthrough has emerged. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who has been mediating between Iran and the U.S., announced that a deal had been struck early Monday. He said both sides agreed to permanently stop military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon. A signing ceremony will take place in Friday in Geneva. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed his attendance and said Trump may also be there. Writing on social media, U.S. President Donald Trump said the deal would open the Strait of Hormuz toll-free on Friday when the signing is completed. He also ordered the end of the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports. Speaking to the New York Times, Trump warned that if the next stage of talks on Iran's nuclear program fails, the U.S. military will resume its attacks. However, the negotiations nearly derailed over the latest Israeli strikes on Lebanon on Sunday. Trump called Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a very difficult guy and that he should be grateful for being saved from a nuclear-armed Iran. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibaldi confirmed the signing. He said both sides will spend the next 60 days on negotiating a broader deal, including Iran's nuclear program and sanctions relief for Iran. Tehran said such talks would not begin until the U.S. releases Iran's frozen assets, but an American official has rejected the claim. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The breakthrough of the peace talks came hours before U.S. President Donald Trump was set to head to France for the G7 summit. World leaders have broadly welcomed the deal, while the oil markets found some relief after the announcement. Anna Chen reports.
The European Union joined the international community to welcome the U.S.-Iran deal.
Well, it is much welcomed, and finger crossed that it will be also initialized on Friday, because everybody needs the Strait of Hormuz to be open and actually this war to stop. So it is much welcomed, and we hope that it will last.
In a joint statement, the UK, France, Germany and Italy commended the deal as a moment of opportunity to restore regional stability and stabilize the global economy, adding they were prepared to lift relevant sanctions in response to clear and verifiable steps taken by Iran regarding its nuclear program. The United Nations also congratulated the warring parties on the critical step towards the peaceful settlement of the conflict. The world has lost millions of barrels of oil and gas supply since the war closed the Strait of Hormuz. In hopes of ending the energy supply crisis, oil prices dropped to a 3-month low, with Brent crude falling about 4% to $83 per barrel. Global stock markets rallied while spot gold rose more than 2% on Monday. Gold prices have fallen about 20% since the start of the war, which stoked concerns over inflation and higher interest rates. Anna Chan, Cable News.
Back to the city. Starting tomorrow, employers hoping to hire imported workers for catering posts, such as cooks and waiters, will face tougher rules under the government's new 2-tier approval system. Jamie Liu reports.
The enhanced supplementary labor scheme will introduce a 2-tier vetting system, setting a higher bar for hiring imported workers for certain sectors. And for now, the new rules apply to the catering sector. Under the new Tier 2, employers now need 3 locals for every 1 imported worker rather than 2 under Tier 1. But the 3-to-1 ratio applies separately to kitchen jobs such as cooks and drink makers and to front-of-house roles such as waiters and cashiers. That means having many local waiters does not help employers meet criteria for imported cooks and vice versa. The local recruitment period for these jobs will have to be longer, extending from the current 4 weeks to 6 weeks. During that period, employers must attend a physical job fair assigned by the Labor Department every 2 weeks. Other changes include how much employers can deduct from an imported worker's wages for accommodation. The percentage will be raised from 10% to 20%, a move that Commissioner for Labor Sam He said would improve living conditions of imported workers. Some rules will be relaxed, with eligible workers allowed to perform their duties in no more than 5 locations. The Labor Department will impose heavier penalties for employers who break the rules. They can now be banned from the scheme for up to 5 years cumulatively, with their names publicly disclosed. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The public consultation on Hong Kong's first 5-year development plan begins today. Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Chief Janice Tse rejected concerns that the plan will shift the free market city towards a planned economy. Meanwhile, senior Beijing official Xia Baolong will travel to Hong Kong tomorrow and inspect the SAR's national integration plans. Jamie Liu again has the story.
Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Janice Tse described the 5-year plan as an apex strategic guiding document for Hong Kong and would be well coordinated with the annual policy address and budget.
Through this, we will better align ourselves with and serve national development, as well as seize the new opportunities. The Hong Kong 5-year plan is strategic, forward-looking, and operable.
Tse also stressed that the 5-year plan does not replace Hong Kong's free market economy. She said the blueprint will lay out a clear vision and strategy so that the market can plan long-term for the future. The consultation document is divided into 6 parts. The first part calls for the acceleration of northern metropolis development and advancing spatial planning. The other parts include the economy, industries, infrastructure, and green transformation. It also covers livelihood aspects, including healthcare, education, housing, welfare, and elderly care. The consultation exercise will run for 2 months until August 14th, with public sessions scheduled. The government aims to publish the plan by the 3rd quarter of this year. Meanwhile, Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office Director Xia Baolong will visit Hong Kong for 2 days starting tomorrow to inspect the city's national integration plans. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The smart and green mass transit system in East Kowloon is set to go out to tender next month, with the successful bidder to be granted 3 residential sites. The Highways Department said the arrangement is needed to generate sufficient capital to offset the project's substantial construction costs. The government has announced that the future franchisee of the smart and green mass transit system in East Kowloon will be awarded 3 residential sites at nominal premium. 2 of the sites are not located along the new rail alignment. Taking to the airwaves, Eddie Leung, principal government engineer of the railway development of the Highways Department, explained that the uphill areas are already heavily developed, making it difficult to identify suitable land parcels. Leung added that the site at the Ma Yau Chong depot requires extensive foundation and site formation works before residential development can proceed. Revenue from the other 2 sites will therefore help cover these additional costs. President of the Hong Kong Institute of Surveyors Tony Wen described the government's decision to offer land in exchange for funding as a smart move amid tight public finances, but stressed the need for robust mechanisms to ensure the money is ring-fenced for transport system development. He added that the open tender process should attract experienced railway investors from the mainland and overseas. The project is expected to commission in or before 2033 and will have a carrying capacity of 16,000 passengers per hour. Hong Kong drivers can now easily check photos of their parking violations and file disputes through the new electronic traffic ticket platform. The police introduced the electronic system last year to modernize traffic enforcement. From today, motorists can log into the platform to challenge tickets and upload supporting documents where appropriate. Users must authenticate with an IM Smart Plus account and apply a digital signature. The platform also allows car owners to request the photos taken by officers at the time of issuing a fixed penalty ticket. To support fleet management, the system now offers dedicated accounts for agents, companies, and individual staff, making it easier for businesses to handle tickets on behalf of their vehicles. Additionally, vehicle owners can generate vehicle-specific QR codes. On-duty drivers can scan it to link their account, so they will receive instant app push notifications if a ticket is issued. Swiss voters have rejected a proposal to cap the country's population at 10 million, a far-right initiative seen by many as the Swiss Brexit. Voters in Switzerland voted 55% against and 45% in favor for the far-right Swiss People's Party initiative to cap the population at 10 million. Turnout reached around 60%. Switzerland's Justice Minister Beat Jans welcomed the no vote, saying it was a sign of stability, openness and reliability. Immigration was a central issue in the campaign. Foreign workers make up about half of Switzerland's hotel industry staff, and hospitals and care homes also rely heavily on migrant labor. Tourist-heavy cantons such as Graubünden and Valais voted strongly against the cap, fearing labor shortages and damage to key sectors. The capital Bern also saw overwhelming opposition, with around 84% voting against. Many voters concluded that a hard population limit would not solve problems like rising rents and healthcare costs. Switzerland's system of direct democracy allows citizens to launch popular initiatives that are put to a national referendum if they gather 100,000 signatures. Let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 124 points. Top active stocks of the day: Tencent was down $4, Alibaba was down 90 cents. SMIC was up $5, KB Laminates was up $14.60. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Euro 9.09, Canadian dollar 5.60. On to the weather now. Cloudy with occasional showers and squally thunderstorms. Showers will be heavy at times. Temperatures will range between 25 and 29 degrees. The weather will remain unsettled on Wednesday and Thursday. That's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.